Sonny. You know where Grandma is? Grandpa feeling frisky. Grandma, where are you? Where'd she go? You wonder why I'm in a different location? It's because I did manage to put the stuff in her pockets. Now I just gotta get my pickpocketing.
Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here. All meat guaranteed, clean and free from rust.
If I'm lucky enough, she'll put it on herself, but I don't know if she'll put on armor. She might put on another article of clothing if I gave it to her. Or put it in her pockets with normal clothing, but... I love how someone's like, watch one of my YouTube videos and goes, quit rambling. I'm like, have you ever never been on the internet or something? Because, I swear to God that every last person on the internet rambles. And I mean every
ride?
last
Where do you want to go?
one.
Climb and back and we'll be off. You ready to go yet?
I haven't seen one thing on the internet ever that the person doesn't ramble a bit. That's all it is. The internet is people rambling. There might be some tidbits of information here and there, or something you can learn, but other than that, it's all rambling. A 30 minutes on how to fix a pipe usually is the guy rambling about the pipe for 30 minutes, when it could take 2 minutes to explain everything. We're always rambling. It's called the internet. Have a look around. Everyone is goddamn rambling as you can found. Not a single person's coherent or even that intelligent. But they do know tidbits you don't, and that's why you looked it up. They have the knowledge you seek. We punch and hit each other a bit when we lose in a game, but it was fun. But that was only in the multiplayer stuff, actually. In the PvP stuff, where we actually deck each other or hit each other with a damn controller. Which is fun. I have a score permanently on my shin because of my brother getting mad at me at Mario Party? Or was it Mario Kart? I forget. It's one of the Mario games.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. You'd best hurry it up.
And because of that, I remember all the good stuff. We didn't really hit each other very much playing Smash Brothers, though. That became a holiday tradition every Christmas, is to always take out the GameCube, plug in the 4 controllers, and just play Smash Brothers all Christmas. That became a tradition with me and my brother and sisters. It was fun. I would get up, go help with the Christmas dinner here and there. Since my day just started, pretty good. My day has been the same every day for the last 30 plus years. I've had zero difference in my day-to-day life. It's kind of boring being disabled. Everything's the same. All the time. Every time. Nothing changes. Everything stays the same. I get up, take my morning meds, do my chores, get back into my room, sit down, play my games. Yeah, being disabled kind of sucks. I mean, I physically can't work, but I can at least help all around the house or cook the meals.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
And I do this because it's fun and it reminds me of my
Climb and
childhood.
back and we'll be off.
I'm old now.
You'd best hurry it up.
I always like playing games and me and my siblings watch. And people are like, oh, and I hate when people are like, oh, you can't work, you're so lucky. Really? I have no purpose to be alive. I have to live day to day trying to figure out what I want to do. Just to feel some value in life. I'm 37, I'm going to be 38 next year. Middle-aged. I'm at the middle of my lifespan. For a man, men only live to be 60 to 70, which means I'm halfway there. I'm halfway done with my life. Well, I'm halfway done. I mean, you're on the tail end, unless you do something stupid. I don't think at 54, though, you're going to be car surfing. Now that I think about it, I don't even know why we did car surfing as a kid. In high school, car surfing was so cool, and you stood on top of the hood and roof of a car while someone's going 30. And everyone's like, now that I think about it, why did we do stuff like that? You plan on being around a long time? Yeah, I plan around being until around 60 and then my lifespan ends. I know exactly how old I'm gonna live to be. That's fun. Actually, it makes things a lot easier. I can plan it all around that time frame. But the average male lifespan is 60 to 70 because men usually take the more deadly jobs and life-threatening risks than everybody else.
Get things. I had all the bit of breakage of all your thing. Go talk to Vex. Most of the your feel like doing a bit of right. Now that's what I like to hear. Off you go.
Solitude again.
So, I handle... If you don't like that kind of work, talk to Delvin. He runs the more up-close... Every now and... If that... Feel like doing a bit of shopping? The guild will... Alright, take this and get out of here.
Welcome to the... I've got coin and I've got merchandise. Let's see what we can do.
I got a legendary shiv. No, I did learn at a young age. Life's too short to give two craps about what's 90% going on.
All right then.
Shouldn't I not have gotten a special job by now? Oh no, I learned at a young age I had to not give two craps because stress just caused more issues for my heart problems. Believe it or not, I'm the only person alive in the world right now. I'm actually the only person to ever exist in the world right now with all 7 heart defects. At once. I've done 7 jobs in Windhelm, 4 jobs in Whiterun, 12 jobs in Riften, 9 jobs in Solitude, and 3 in Markov. Actually, I'm considered the oldest person in history right now to have lived this long with so many heart defects. Hell, I'm in the medical journals, actually. I've been told by my doctors I'm in the medical journal. A whole freaking chapter about my heart defects. And how they use that to save millions and billions of lives as a type of surgery. Yay, I contributed to society some way a little, as a guinea pig. Poked and prodded and needled.
Need a ride?
I only have 3 chambers to my heart. I was born that way.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off.
I was born with 3 chambers in my heart. For some reason my body automatically corrected that and put a hole between the 2 of them so that it can flow. And it stayed open instead of sealing up. So I only... Also, it's backwards to boot. Has murmurs, palpitations. Had some holes here and there they patched up. It was something, I guess. The doctors were more confused with how I was still alive, if anything. I love it when I was a baby at 3 weeks old and I made medical history by being alive. So yeah, I contributed to modern medicine by being a little guinea pig for all my life. I became stable after my teenage years, so I've just been living now. Not many doctor visits anymore, and they're more curious of how I'm still alive in general. Hell, even my doctors had bets on when I would die. They had a betting pool on when I would croak. I mean, I get it. You're looking at a kid and wondering if he's gonna die. Shrink used me as a special case at a convention about me not being normal. What is normal? Because I'm told I'm normal, but there's no way in hell I'm normal. What is normal? Other than what society deems as normal. As a group of a total. I guess it's what society deems as follows the rules and does not really cause too much trouble for everybody is considered normal, I guess. Because I know for a fact I ain't normal. For God's sakes, I'm missing a piece of my heart. If I get shot in the chest just right, it won't hit my heart. It'll go through and miss because the chamber is missing. You were diagnosed with a mental disorder you don't have. That happens a lot, I've noticed. Especially with newer users. I've had too many times where I've actually have asked for a new doctor. I believe I asked for a new doctor once because the one doctor they wanted to give me wanted me to put me in a giant magnet when I got my pacemaker, and I'm like, I want someone else. She wanted to put me in an MRI and I had a pacemaker. I'm like, did she not read the file? I mean, it's right there at the top right. Has pacemaker. This woman's gonna get me killed. So yeah, you can ask for a new doctor and say, I don't want this doctor, I want a new one. Mental abuse, yeah. I remember that. My dad was really bad with that. And physical. My mom did not pick good guys. She's terrible at picking men. Especially the one who believes he was talking to God. That guy is, he was something else. Yeah, it's unpleasant, to say the least. I know how that feels.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Solitude's a big port town, you know. Full of sailors and tales of faraway lands.
My dad did horrible, unspeakable things that he should be permanently imprisoned for, but he's not. And I've seen him only 5 times in my life. And I do not want to see him ever again. And then there's my stepdad, who was a physically abusive person too. And a nutter. He was nutty as hell. He believed he talked to God. I mean, that should be a red flag of the crimson type. Like, get away from him. He said he saw God after he had a stroke eating a cheeseburger, and what I believe God was probably telling him, go on a diet. You're 390 pounds, dude. It's not healthy. A few doctors years ago said I shouldn't have never been diagnosed with a mental illness. Yeah, there's a lot of misdiagnosis. That, or people go online and believe they have something and then they give themselves the symptoms. That is a thing, by the way. Where people go online and read what they read online and you think, oh yeah, I have that. And then you think about it and go, no you don't. What the hell? You just think you do. You should actually, I don't know, actually see a professional, but also make sure the professional's not bad at their job. Because there is some that are terrible at their job. I've only come across a few, less than a handful of people in my life that were definitely not qualified for the work they were doing. I've only had 2 doctors I've ever had to ask for new doctors for. And I did see a therapist once, but I apparently broke them. Funnily enough, I broke my therapist. When they met me, they felt depression and then stopped doing their job. So, I don't know what I did. I broke the therapist. Hell, I scare people who do tarot card readings. Which I don't know if it's funny or not, because every time I do a tarot card reading, they get the 3 cards of death. And it freaks them out. Going, how the hell do you always pick the 3 cards of death? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because I've actually died. And I know death very, very well. And very personally. They said it was because I was mentally abused. That's the reason my symptoms. Yeah, that could be. But a lot of symptoms go away once you realize the problem too. Well, they could end up going away once you realize the issue, and then you can work on it. Some people do it really quickly and adapting overcome it fast, and some people don't. It all depends on your own mental state of how strong you are mentally.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
You have to have a strong will, strong mental capabilities, and a strong spirit to withstand a lot of bull crap this world throws at you without it completely breaking you. Some people don't got those. Some people break like glass. It sounds like you are a little more tempered and can withstand a lot more. It went away when you got away from the person who was causing it. Sounds about right. My mom got me away from my dad ASAP. That's probably why I don't have too many issues other than my daddy issue is he's still around. And he's using my little brother. And I can't stand the man. But that's my own personal problem. No, it looks like Mother Nature took to it on their own and karma came back swinging. Because now he looks like terrible shit. He's overweight, bald, missing his teeth, the drugs took its toll on his body, and now he is a blubbering old mess of a fool. That has nowhere to go and no one that loves him. And my brother finally got rid of his ass, so things eventually worked out. Mother Nature eventually Karma and Mother Nature both went to town on his ass with a bat and a shovel. It just took a long time for it to pay back in dividends what he gave others. He was not a good man. Very much not a good man. Somehow my stepdad was worse. That guy did not unspeakable things, but pretty fucked up things. Some things I can't even mention on YouTube.
So, and here's the spoils. Bloody more where this came from. Can I give you a little tip? Take every job you
Steal
get.
any? Here's your gold. Try not to spend it all in one plate. Okay, what'll it be? The owner of this place just... Good. Just remember the order. Do job first, get drunk.
Got lots of job. Good.
Now take this and
My
go.
clients are getting... Alright, got a simple one. Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut and you'll do fine. Let me give you the detail.
Hell, before I was 10, I stopped seeing my dad. My sister's dad, though, the worst he ever did was say stupid words. And by then, I've already had thick skin, thick enough to stop bullets and ballistic missiles. I had some thick skin by then. But he said it was literally nothing to me. It's like, oh, he's mouthy. Is that the worst he can do? Cool. Kind of hard to have these kind of adult conversations on YouTube because YouTube be too hypersensitive to it instead of people just actually talking things out, which is actually beneficial more than you think. It's beneficial for people to have conversations like this. It can help people get through things.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off.
Sometimes some people just need a vent.
Solitude's famous for its Bard's College. Worth a visit if you've never been. Some of them can seem just...
Yeah, I spend most of my time nowadays just get up, take my meds, do my chores, do what needs to be done, and go back to my room and just wait and play my games, stream it a little because it reminds me of when I was younger. How me and my brothers and sisters would, you know, play games and hang out. That would be it. Pretty much nostalgic reasons. Because my sister's all grown up and living on her own with, well, not on her own, she has a roommate, but she's known her roommate, I believe almost all her life, since childhood.
Someday soon you will all have that.
And they've been friends since, so. My, other brother who's full blood related to me, little brother, I believe, that's right, he went in the military, served 2 tours in Iraq, came back busted up and broken, flew drones for a little bit because he had the high enough intelligence enough to even do that sort of technological stuff. And then his asthma got bad, he got discharged. Because he no longer can serve where he was at. Apparently the pollution in South Korea is really bad. And I mean really bad apparently. You can use a vacuum in the air and make bricks out of the pollution, it's that bad. It's like, wow. And also, the military destroyed his knees, apparently. But he won't get knee replacement because it's not as good as you think. My grandma got knee replacement, and they said it would last about 10 years or so. It's been longer than 10 years now, and the thing's all broken up in her knees. But she can't replace them because she doesn't have the money or the insurance that could cover it. And she kind of regrets getting knee replacement and wishes that she just kept her bad knee, which would have been more easy to deal with than her knee is now, is worse. So there's that. It's pretty bad when your bad knee becomes your good knee becomes your bad knee after getting the surgeries. Though she's in her 80s now, so she doesn't want to get no more surgeries because it takes too damn long to heal at that age. She was a nurse for 4 or 5 decades. She was a nurse. She retired at 63, I think. Moved to Oregon. In the woods, though. Up in the mountains for a while. Then when my grandpa passed, she moved towards the beach, closer, where she always wanted to be. You play video games and forget about the world? Yeah. That's what video games are for, is to entertain you and keep you, disconnect you from the world just for a little bit, where you can be anything you want and do anything you want. That's why video games that are getting too preachy nowadays don't work. Yeah, you want to move towards a climate your body likes. If your body loves the air and the atmosphere and the climate conditions of
where do you want to go?
Of the Rockies, then yeah, go for it. My brother moved to, I believe, the more Midwest areas, near Tennessee or something like that, because he likes the dry heat and it prevents his asthma from acting up, so he moved down there. Well, my grandma likes the Oregon coast because it stays the same temperature almost year long, little to no snow. Pretty much everyone in my family moves to places that are more suitable for their body after it's broken down and degraded quite a bit. You can deal with the cold better than with the heat? Yeah, I'm the opposite. I could deal with the heat better than the cold. That's why global warming is not a thing for me. I don't really care. To me, if the world got back to its tropical state when it first started, I would be fine with that myself. I wouldn't mind a whole every day being 120 degrees because I could withstand it with my body. Because of my heart problems, I could withstand intense high heat, but I cannot withstand cold. Let's see, it takes 100-degree weather before I can start sweating. I will not sweat until the temperature hits 100 or higher, because my circulation is that poor. That's why living in Washington State, I live towards the desert side of it. Rockies, I can live away from people. Yes. As you get older, you just want to get away from people. Further the better. Up in the woods, surrounded by trees and animals, where you can grow your own food and just not see another soul for months on end is so nice and quiet, and it's just peaceful. And then you have a creek near your house, so you can hear running water all day. Just ambient noise of the frogs in the stream. And you can go fishing. I was already thinking this way before I was a teenager, so I already hit old age.
Traveling in the Reach is dangerous. Where do you want to go?
I already have old man brain before I even was a teenager. Though I was told I mentally matured quicker than most because of my harsh living conditions. I had to. I didn't even get to my teenage years. No rebellious stage, no mouthy stage. Well, I was always mouthy, but in a sarcastic ass sort of way as a kid. But that was the worst of it. That was the worst I was as a kid. I did as I was told, did my chores, and I was a good child who didn't do much. Freaked. Also, apparently I'm not normal because I would not eat any food they gave me without vegetables. I loved my lima beans as a child, and I hate chocolate. I never liked chocolate as a kid. Doing things alone, yeah. You sound like my mom. The way my mom grew up. You a country kid? Did you grow up in the countryside? Because it seems like it's a type where people who grew up in the countryside with animals and stuff usually want to go back to that when they get older. My mom was a country girl. I had a partial childhood growing up in the country in my grandma's old place. They had a creek, horses, farmland. You lived in the middle of the woods. Yeah, I had the childhood of growing up country style. They put me on a horse at 5 years old, and were like, oh, I guess he doesn't like riding horses. I was 5 and you put me on a horse that was 16 hands. That is terrifying. Though I can easily get on a horse and ride it now, but when you're 5 and they put me on a horse that big?
No strings attached. Not bad. Okay, what'll it be? Got a client in desperate... Alright, take this and get out of here.
Something troubling you? If you don't watch it, I may actually start to respect. Good. My client's alright. Gotta keep this up, and you'll be rich enough to retire before you know it. Good luck.
I guess it all depends on how we grew up, but a lot of us who grew up in the ass end of nowhere and had little to had pretty much just the natural nature around us, we grew up pretty stable. Surprisingly. You learned at a younger age life and death and all that. Since I experienced death, I look at it in a different way than normal people do. People see death, freak out, or start breaking down. Me, I look at it and go, meh. That's supposed to happen eventually. When it happens is not in your hands. You might slow it down or somewhat prevent it for a time period, but it's gonna get you eventually. I know I'm gonna go soon. Oh no, crashing!